Welcome everyone. Added me the wooey here as the recording of this Thursday, September 23rd, 2021. The water is parlaying over these rocks on the first of the two fountains that you approach walking up to the Anaheim Convention Center here in Anaheim, California. It is nice. It is about 5 p.m. 75 degrees. Overcast, you could call this overcast. A slight hue of clouds in the air. You can see the sun is, it's really not permeating too much because it is shielded by that cloud formation right there. Take a look at that. A little walk and talk, if you will, that I am inviting you to join me. Shall you? Wearing these sunglasses, I noticed a few people were chiming in about these sunglasses. I have another pair that I've been wearing for a while, but I also have these, and I recall, I thought they were in Florida. They weren't. They're here in my SoCal home spot, and I saw them. I usually have them on a little counter. I have this, what do you call it, like a skull, and the glasses are like on Mr. Skeleton's noggin. And I noticed, I said, oh wow, I need to wear those. My mom gave me these last Christmas, maybe the Christmas before, one of the Christmases. Nonetheless, a gift from my mom. You would wear sunglasses your mother would give you too, so don't knock them. I think they're pretty stylish. Pretty nice, right? My hat is a little bit. I'm going to talk about the dream key, the magic key, the key, not to the city, but the key to the magic at Disneyland here in Anaheim, Walt's original Magic Kingdom. Oh, I have some thoughts. We'll preface this by saying I am not one to normally complain about theme parks, Disney. I usually keep everything at kind of an upper level. Try to keep everything positive. But I think in this case, I should tell you my thoughts and why the Magic Key, which used to be called an annual pass. They have adjusted a few things, why it does not work for me and why I am having regrets on purchasing it. Why I wish upon a star, as if, you know, Tinkerbell or Jiminy Cricket would say, should not have gotten it. For me personally, these are my personal thoughts on the newly revealed annual pass called the Magic Key. I got the upper echelon tier, which was $1,399, $1,400. I also will add in a little asterisk there because I had a 5-day ticket that I paid just about $380, $400 for. So I utilized that without scanning in for my first day. I had that from months before and applied that to the $1,400. So in reality, a couple weeks ago when I got the Magic Key, I only paid about $1,050, $1,100, but total it added up to the $1,399, which would it be if you were thinking about going and purchasing it. That is what you, a family member, a friend, would be purchasing it. Take a look at the fountain here. So people just kind of relaxing in front of it. It feels so dang good out here. Well, let's walk and talk. Just walk around, talk about this. Now there are lesser price passes you can get, like the Enchant Key pass for $649, but that has many blackout days and you have to pay to park. Or for $949, you can get the Believe pass, which still does have a couple blackout days, but this might include parking. You know, I think this includes parking. Don't quote me on that. You can scan through it at your own discretion. And then this one here, the $13.99, what I assumed, well, I use that word lightly, would get me in every single day. But you see up here it says reservation-based admission. Reservation-based. That's what you gotta look for. it really does seem appropriate to be strolling this way, because when D23 happened, the last one, what was that, about 2 years ago or so, a massive line going down here, a queue developed, and myself and many friends, acquaintances, kindred spirits, if you will, we all slept on the floor starting at like 2 a.m. Well, not slept, but just kind of relaxed on the concrete of this room all the way down here at the end, waiting for the parks panel. I have had a hard time with this magic key getting into the park. Now, I am basing this on me having an annual pass, which they have changed the name of the annual pass in Florida. Mine has kind of been grandfathered up because I already had it. I've had an annual pass for many years. I had the coast to coast. They got rid of the coast to coast. But because I had that, switched over to the annual pass in Florida a while back, and then early into 2021, I was able to purchase an annual pass, even though very few others could not, because I was, to use the term, grandfathered in. And I'm going to explain the differences between Florida's quote-unquote annual pass and this one out here, which is way more complex, way more difficult, way more confusing, and a lot more difficult to take that key and get in. See, a key, I think they call it the magic key, because if I pulled out a key and put it in this, if they don't want the door open, it's locked. Where an annual pass grants me access to get in, no matter what, I can pass, all shall pass. But a key sometimes does not open the door. Also should probably preface this also by saying, I am pretty grateful to be able to go to any Disney park. I am thankful that I am allowed to step foot through the gates at any time, whether I purchase a ticket, whether I have some kind of version of an AP. It is not my right to go in there. I do not have something, you know, shining down on me saying, hey, you are allowed to be here all the time. So anytime I am granted access to go to some of my favorite places, I look at that as a blessing. However, it is quite discouraging. That's the only word I can think of, to not be able to go when you want to go. Once again, from my perspective, the way my life works is very impulsive. Sometimes I'll do things during the day. And before, in the olden days, which I know we're not in the olden days, you could just go whenever. You could walk up, scan the card. Hey, I'm an AP. Walk in. It's not like that anymore. It's totally not like that anymore. Now, you have to book a reservation, either on the West Coast here or in Florida on the East Coast. Understood. Have no issues with that whatsoever. That seems like that makes a lot of sense. I can understand the basis of all that. The problem is, you can rarely impulsively go to Disneyland, the West Coast Disney parks, on a whim, on short notice. You have to plan it out a week, maybe 2 weeks, heck, maybe 3 weeks in advance. I'll show you what I am referring to on the app when you just kind of look up to see if there's any reservations available. And I'll show as of today. After logging in with the Dream Key, with the Magic Key, no blackout days, this is the calendar. As a recording of this, Thursday, September 23rd, you can see it has that little slash through there, that little crossed out. Also, if I wanted to try to go tomorrow, no such luck. If I wanted to try to go Saturday, sorry. If I wanted to go Sunday leading up, nope. And if I wanted to go Monday, well, let me put another little asterisk on this. The reason the 27th for me is kind of X'd and slashed out there, because I did manage to get a reservation that day. I'm planning in advance on going on the 27th. I have a Disneyland resi, because immediately following that, in the day or two following that, I will be boarding a plane and going to Florida for Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary at Magic Kingdom. I have procured a reservation there, which I had to do that a year ago. I've had that reservation in tow for a year. I'm not talking about that though, but that's why the 27th when I log in is not showing. That might be available or may not. However, if I wanted to go any of these other days, including tonight, if I wanted to stroll over there right now, there is no way in heck I am getting into DCA or Disneyland tonight on the 23rd. Only a very small, I don't want to call it a miracle, but a very small chance I could get in. And I'll tell you how that will happen and why it most likely won't happen. I was informed by a cast member the other night when I went up and asked a few questions at the ticket booths that the only way that a reservation for here on the West Coast, this does not apply to Florida, can be canceled, can be completely removed if you would like to say, you know, let's say I had one for tonight and something came up. I had immediate plans, there was an emergency, I just didn't feel like going, there was something else I wanted to do, or I got ill. I would not be able to get rid of that reservation. I would have to go to the park or be punished for not going. Now, from what I'm hearing, this is hearsay. Everything else I'm giving is factual, showing it on the screen and the prices and all that. From what I am hearing, there is a cavalcade coming through. Got a cavalcade walking through right now. If you do not show up for your reservation, look at this. 3 times in a month, in 90 days, in 60 days, you will be blacked out of being able to get any more reservations. Hence, you have to utilize your reservation. Unlike Florida, where, let's say right now, I tested this out the other evening, I can book, let's say I wanted to book Animal Kingdom or Magic Kingdom. I can book it and then 20 minutes say, you know what, I don't feel like going. I'm gonna go ahead and just omit that. And they will let me do that. They will not let you do that here at Disneyland. So what does that mean? Let's say I had one for this evening and I had other plans. I would not be able to spend the evening. What was that? Spend the evening in the park. There was like a car over there making quite a noise in the parking structure. But what would happen is I would have to walk over to Disneyland, either down harbor or park at the structure or park at the parking lot across from the convention center here, walk down harbor or take the bus. It's a mile walk, 10 to 15 minute walk from the parking structure. Right now the trams are not running either. You would have to walk from the structure all the way down to Disneyland, scan in, and then leave to go do your plans, which for me is not that big of a deal. I only live a couple miles from the park, but for someone who lives in, let's say they live in Los Angeles, they live out in Inland Empire, anything like that, they would have to just, they would pretty much just have to deal with it and not go utilize their reservation and be punished one of those 3. It might even be less than that. I probably should have looked that up. But there is a punishment system if you start booking reservations and cannot go and do not go and fulfill your end of the bargain. Unlike in Florida, you can X out that reservation the day of, and what happens is someone else is fortunate enough to keep hitting refresh on their end on the app, and they can now go because you can't go. That does not apply here. What the heck? That makes no sense. Why isn't the system here like it is in Florida? I don't know. Just to have a hypothetical. Put yourself in this situation. You have booked a reservation for, let's say, tomorrow. Something pops up. You're an hour away. You say, gosh, what should I do? I've already done this twice where an emergency happened and I cannot go, I cannot utilize my reservation. What do? You would have to drive all the way down here, park either across the lot at the lot over there, walk down harbor, or take the bus. You can take the bus, that works too. Or park in Mickey and Friends or Pixar parking. Walk a mile. I'm not kidding. It's probably 3/4 of a mile to a mile. It's probably between 3/4 of a mile and 1 mile. I'm a quick walker. I walk pretty fast. It would take me at least probably 12 minutes, maybe 15 at a comfortable walk to the park and back. No trams running right now, which is a whole other subject, which I will not get into. It's confusing. Kind of wish I would have known. It's my fault, all on me, before spending $1,400 for now. Now, if I would have waited down the road when capacity hopefully goes up, which no indication of that, and more people are let in, reservations will be a lot easier to get. Won't be so much of an issue. But for now, it is really, really stressful. Again, let me stress, I am grateful. I am in the lower percentile of those who are able to go to a theme park on a regular basis. Some have to plan a little bit longer. I think for those who plan, it might be a little bit easier. But for locals, for APs, former APs, I am not alone in these thoughts. There are a conglomeration of those who have the same thought process and just kind of want some answers. Want to know, why in the heck can't we get rid of the reservation day of? Give it to someone else. You cannot transfer it to anyone else. So there are, dare I say, hundreds. I'm going to say hundreds, maybe even bordering on high hundreds of reservations that probably are not utilized for people who have to go down, scan in, then leave in fear of whatever kind of punishment they will get of not being able to book reservations in the future, when if they could just simply hit an X out and that is released into the universe, into the internet universe, somebody else can grab it and just go, like Florida does. I want to know why. I want to know. Another scenario, I would say, you know, a good percentage of folks work banker's hours, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. It's difficult to get a reservation on a weekend. Darn near impossible unless you are planning 2 weeks out, maybe a week out if you're lucky. Good luck on, let's say tonight you got off work 5 p.m., went home, took a shower, got a little snack. You thought, you know what'd be neat? I want to go on Mr. Toad. I want to go on Big Thunder Mountain, which right now is down for construction or for refurb here in California, but you get the idea. You would not be able to get one, as I showed. They're all booked up for tonight. But if you wanted to plan your weekend, you would have to go 2 weeks out. And sometimes that doesn't always, sometimes you don't want to book something. You don't, part of being an annual pass holder, an AP, that AP life, if you will, is not making plans that far ahead. That is kind of what separates an AP from a tourist or a casual goer, like a once a year goer. Hope this is making any sense. For those who are not local, for those who have not had an annual pass for years, this might not really kind of sink in the same way. But it's something I just wanted to get off my chest. It's very odd, and for me personally, I wish I had not spent the $1,400 to go. There is a different tier system for those who purchase tickets. In fact, I checked, and right now, if I were to purchase a ticket for like $100, $120 for the day, they would let me in because there's a different tier system for ticket holders as opposed to the magic key holders. So in reality, because I am going to Florida and I'll be in Florida for most of October, especially now that the Tampa Bay Rays have made it to the postseason, yes, spoiler alert, I am going to attempt to go to as many of those games as they advance, whether it be, you know, the wild card, the playoffs, the AL Division Series. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the World Series. I want to go to quite a few. But my original thought was, when I came back here from Florida before, I was not going to get the magic key. I was going to wait a little bit. I was going to wait till after New Year's to get it. And then I thought, you know, I'm going to be there for a few weeks. Heck it. Spend the money. I can jump in the park whenever I want. And it just did not work out that way. So I kind of, for me personally, wish I would have waited. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully my mindset doesn't come across too much as a complaint, even though it kind of is a complaint. I'm not really one to kind of go down that route, but gosh, this is really, it's stressful. Between this and the no trams and really being so close to Disneyland, but yet not being able to get in without a lengthy walk or even get in at all. In a way, I kind of wish they didn't even bring out the Magic Key. I kind of wish they would just kept it how it was. We would have had something to look forward to without a little tease, just a little tease for you. Certainly I am not one that would, you know, simple things around the park, like, oh, they painted that trash can a different color. I'm not gonna say anything about that. Oh, the wait times are too long. I'm not gonna say anything about that. You just have to grin and bear certain things. But this was something that I just had to bring up. I just had to. Got the Catella sign entrance right over there. Supposedly that used to be an entrance at one point, right over my shoulder. I'm not gonna walk up to the harbor entrance. That might be, I can't get in, but I'm just kind of strolling through here. I'm just showing what their logo looks like. So yeah, that's my thoughts. That's my situation. Others, you know, might be coming down on a vacation or from Northern California, from over in Arizona, or flying cross country, and they have it all mapped out. They have it all planned out. Hey, we're gonna be there a week. This makes sense to have this all locked in. You can book way in advance. You can book 5 or 6 days, a couple months out. So it is a good thing. It is not all bad. It is definitely beneficial for those who are planning in advance and not locals. I think what I'm basically trying to say is those who are used to being APs, like I said, that AP Life annual pass holders, this is not the same thing. And I cannot be the only one out there with this thought process. Also, when it comes to Disney and Disney content and Disneyland, I'm sure you've noticed I've tapered back a little bit. Yes, I still go a lot and I still will continue to go to both parks, but I haven't been doing as much as I used to, and that will continue. Yes, I will be at Magic Kingdom on October 1st, coming up for the 50th anniversary. And I might do a few others that week as well. But I'm not going to every opening of every new thing, you know, a new store opens, a new restaurant, a new event, anything like that, a new, even ride, like Ratatouille. I didn't go to the open. I did not sign up for the annual pass holder preview or anything like that. Certain things, I'm not gonna be going to every single thing. Sometimes I just like to casually go. For example, a couple nights ago, I did get a reservation and just hopped in for a very brief time frame, rode a couple attractions over in Fantasyland, and just left. Didn't even take the camera. So not everything has to be documented from my perspective. Certain episodes I will show in the park, but kind of for me, being a former annual pass holder, now a Magic Key, and whatever the heck they're calling it in Florida, used to be annual pass holder, but I believe last month they changed it to a different name. Sometimes for me, being a local on both coasts is just around this time frame, late evening when the sun drops, when the weather is nice, just wanting to pop in casually for the price. You know, it comes with the price that I am paying out there and out here. It would be nice. That's what it boils down to. It would be nice to just be able to just go in, grab a bite to eat, walk down Main Street, USA, and I hope one day it goes back to that. It goes back to the old style of annual pass without reservations. Also, in Southern California, no other theme parks, Universal, Knott's, Six Flags, none of them need reservations, which brings me to a point. Could it possibly be creating more demand, and are people booking reservations just because they think, I don't want to get locked out? Which could be another negative factor, because now they cannot cancel, get rid of those resis the day of. How many reservations are not even being utilized that people could be going inside Disneyland? Things that make you go, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for listening. The vlog is over. Guess I should have showed what they changed the name of the Florida Pass to. It's called the Disney and Credit Pass. $1,299. It used to be the annual pass. That's the one I have, and then they adjusted it when they changed the name, when they brought out the Magic Key here. I also will say that I never have any issue when I'm in Florida. Sometimes it'll take 2 or 3 hours, but because people can get rid of their reservation and throw it back online, I've always been able to get in the parks out there. Not one day I wasn't able to go that I wanted to go, unlike here. Granted, with the WDW reservations, the ones that were filled up for that day, as I stated, I did have to try for a few hours. Just kept hitting refresh over and over and over, going back, closing the app out, opening it back up throughout the course of the afternoon. And usually into the evening, it was like magic. It would appear. I also should throw in that the cast member the other day said that there is a rare chance that you could get one here day of, but it would have to be a cast member getting rid of their reservation or a ticket holder. Those two can get rid of their reservations for the day, but annual pass holders or magic key holders cannot. So you're telling me there's a chance? Not much of one though.